Hi everyone, and welcome to the Adelaide Cottage podcast. My name is Shauna, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Adelaide Cottage, and you can find my hand-dyed yarns at AdelaideCottageYarns.com, which is our new website that was just launched just a few days ago. So I'm very excited about that, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, this is a podcast mostly about knitting, dyeing yarn, sometimes crochet, sometimes cross-stitching, and quilting, but I hope that you find something here that you enjoy. I love watching knitting podcasts and always love to find new ones. And later on in the episode, I am hoping I remember to talk about a couple of new to me podcasts that I've really been enjoying, because I always love finding new ones as well. So today is August 23rd, I believe. It's a Thursday. And this morning I volunteer for my boys' school PTO, or parent-teacher organization. And I helped with the new family breakfast. So all the new families that are coming into the school just come for breakfast and to take a tour and just ask questions if they have them. So I worked that, and then we went to Sunflowers of Sanborn, which is in Sanborn, New York, about a half an hour from where I live. And there are thousands and thousands of sunflowers in this field. It's a field of sunflowers. It's gorgeous. And I went with my best friend, Erica. We've been friends since we were like 2 years old. And our children. So that was really, really nice. And then we went out for a nice lunch after that. And I just got home and thought I'd record a podcast because things are getting so busy. And I'll dabble into that later as well. But it's been busy, but busy good. So I figured I have a few minutes right now and I'd love to chat with you. I'm drinking my very favorite Lipton English breakfast tea with a little bit of soy milk and a tiny bit of sugar, like always. So I hope you're all doing well. Thank you to any of you who are returning viewers or new to this podcast who are hanging out with me for the first time. I appreciate so much that you're taking time out of your day to spend with me and to listen to my crafty shenanigans. So I'm going to show, I don't have any finished objects, but I do have a new work in progress, which is my Afghan or blanket that I'm making, a scrappy Harry Potter blanket for a Cal that I'm co-hosting with Vegan Jilly, who is also the Knitting Broomstick. It technically starts September 1st, but I'm going to show you my start. I started early since I'm not eligible for prizes or anything like that. I started early because I wanted to kind of design my own scrappy Afghan project and then share that with any of you who might want to do the same pattern. So I wanted to knit up a couple of squares, so that if you wanted to do the same, I'd be happy to share the pattern. It will be a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm hoping to get it typed up and in there within the next few days so that you have it if you'd like. Mine obviously isn't finished, but since it's a free pattern and I do have a couple of squares knit and hope to knit at least 2 more before I take pictures of it, I figured that would be okay. So for this, it starts September 1st. If any of you would like to join, there's lots of information in my Ravelry group, which is called Adelaide Cottage. So please do go there to check out the details on that. And it's a year-long knit-along. You can knit or crochet a blanket or Afghan that is titled something about Harry Potter, or the stories, or you can pick any pattern in the universe and just use Harry Potter themed yarns or colorways inspired by Harry Potter. So you can go on Knit Picks and get less expensive yarn in, for instance, the colors of the houses. So just an idea. But there's lots of ideas and lots of pattern choices in the group if you're interested. So for mine, like I said, I decided to design my own squares, and I used my Harry Potter mini skein set, which I'm dyeing up every other month for the entire year. For anyone who wants, sorry for the crinkling, anyone who wants Harry Potter minis to go into their blanket. So these are just some of them. It's a pack of 7. This collection number 1 was dyed inspired by the covers of the books that I have. I know there's many different versions, many different covers, but the books that I have, I looked at each cover and drew inspiration from those. So these are just a few. And pardon my nails, they're disgusting from dyeing yarn the other day. I don't wear gloves. I feel restricted. But yeah, this one is the Deathly Hallows, the Half-Blood Prince, the Goblet of Fire, the Order of the Phoenix, and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And then we've got the Chamber of Secrets. And where's my other tag? Which one am I missing? The Chamber of Secrets is the one I'm doing now. See, now I listed them all out of order. Oh, the Sorcerer's Stone. How can I forget that? It's the very first one. So this is the square that I designed, and I'm planning to... It still has to be blocked, but it's a really neat cast-on. It's a center-out worked square, and the cast-on in the center prevents a big hole, and I really like the way that's done. But if I spread it out, you can see the lace work. It's a very simple pattern. I think it takes about a half an hour per square, and uses about 12 or 13 grams of the 20 grams. So or no, it used about 8, and then I tried to use 10, I believe. But all that information will be there, because I remember thinking to myself, you can get 2 squares out of every 20 gram mini. So that's this one, and then I started the second one, Chamber of Secrets. And it's hard to spread out, but this is how it's working up. Lots of browns. Well, not lots, but you can see them. And reds and bright greens. So that's really fun. So yeah, and this is, I tried the cast on, not the one that I prefer, that I showed you in the first one, and this is the hole that you get if you just cast on the DPNs and then just start working in the round. You get a pretty big hole that doesn't really tie closed very well. So I really like the extra work of this cast on. So I will include the instructions for this one in the pattern. Not sure what I'm calling it yet. Open to suggestions. So if you'd like to leave a comment below, I would definitely entertain your idea for a title of a scrappy Harry Potter blanket. The inspiration came from Molly Weasley and all of her knits and crochets, and just very eclectic style, so scrappy style. And for these I'm a loose knitter, so I'm using Carbon's DPNs. And you could magic loop for this as well, but let me see what size. US size 2 or 2.75 millimeters. So yeah, I hope you guys are excited about that, because I am, and I'm keeping it in my Chicken Boots Hermione's Journal Wallaby bag, which I love. I think it'll be a perfect size for a big scrappy Afghan. So I'm really enjoying knitting on that. The next one I want to show you is Evan's Flax Light Sweater. I'm sorry if you can hear me swallowing. That's probably really gross. I have the microphone right here because I'm soft-spoken and I feel like I need it. so you can hear me. This is in a bag from my friend Emily that she made me. I love this fabric and I get tons of compliments on it when I carry it around. This, I'm sure you've seen before if you watched my previous episodes. But if you're new or just catching up, my 5-year-old Evan wanted me to knit him a sweater in my hand-dyed yarn, and he wanted me to dye it to look like his Nerf gun, which is like lime green, fluorescent orange, gray, and some white. So I did that, and last time I chatted with you, I think I just had the ribbing to go on the bottom, and then I had to do the sleeves, I believe. So I finished that ribbing, and I finished almost one sleeve. I just started the ribbing for the end of the sleeve. And then I'll go on to the next sleeve and it'll be done. I tried it on him. It looks adorable with a little t-shirt underneath or even a collared white shirt. Again, this is the Flax Light pattern by Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, excuse me. What else can I say about this? Here's my cake. This is the second skein. And I switched from my regular ChowGoo interchangeables to my new Shorties set, which are the length of the needle is smaller and the length of the cable is smaller, so it's perfect for sleeves. I love these. I think this is going to make sleeve islands feel less like sleeve islands. So that's that one. The next one are my rainbow socks. I knit on these quite a bit actually, and they should get done pretty soon. I showed this finished sock the last time, but just so that you can see it. Really love these, just scrappy mini skeins that I used. And then this is the second sock. So all I have to do is half of this pink stripe here, well, probably 3/4 of it, and then go on to red and then the toe, and then I have to add an afterthought heel. So they'll be done. I can probably finish this in one night. I just need to sit down and do it. But I really, really love these. These are just so fun and bright and summery. And I thought about giving them as a gift, but I don't have many hand knits for myself because I give them all away. So I think I might keep these. But yeah, this is kind of... So I don't have much to go. Really enjoying them. Assorted scrappy minis, mostly Adelaide Cottage yarns, and the heels and toes I'm using Deborah Norville Soft White on the Serenity sock base. Just something that you can pick up at Joann Fabrics or Michael's if they carry that line. I know Joann Fabrics carries it, that's where I bought it. But a really nice versatile sock yarn to use for heels, toes, and cuffs if you'd like. The last thing I've been working on, I've been trying to stay monogamous. I have a lot of whips. I always do. It's just the way I work. It's a struggle of mine. Can't stop, won't stop. My Aisling shawl. I told you last time I want this to be my Rhinebeck shawl, and I need to get the border finished. And I told you about my yarn chicken that I was playing and how I bought back my own yarn from one of my customers because I ran out. So this is the Aisling by Justina. There it is. Justina Lorkowska. And I'm just like working like crazy on this. So since we chatted last time, this is what I did last night from the progress keeper up to the top. I did 1, 2, 3, 4 repeats of the applied cable border. And each repeat takes about an hour or so. So I have about a third of the border left to go. And then I'll be done. This is how much I've done so far. We'll get there, you guys. All I know is that when it is finished, I'm going to love wearing it. That's all that matters, right? It doesn't matter how long it takes, just that you are enjoying the process and that you enjoy the product when it's done. So that's it for my whips that I'm going to show you this week. I don't have any sewing or quilting to show this week. We've just been keeping really busy over the summer. I do have some shop update. These yarns are now live in the shop. Again, it's AdelaideCottageYarns.com. And I now have a sweater quantity option. It's called Sweater Weather. If you go to my website, at the very top of it, you can click right on that notification bar way at the top of the screen that says Sweater Weather listing. You can click on that. You're going to get a listing. You can choose your base, add it to your cart. When you go to your cart, you can edit the quantity, however many skeins you need. I do have a yarn base section now on my website at the top where it says like home, shop, about, yarn bases, yarn care, contact, all of that stuff. The bases will tell you exactly the fiber content, the yardage, the weight, all of that. So you place your order and then you just send me a contact form message to let me know what colorway you would like. So I thought that would be a really nice option for people who find it hard to get sweater quantity skeins of fingering weight indie dyed yarn. So I hope that you like that option because I really do. So these are all in the shop. I still have to put my label on most of them. And you'll see when I hold them up, I have these colored ribbons. This is how I keep track or separate all my yarn bases so that I know when I label them and put the sticker on what base it is. So that's what that is hanging off. But we have mohair in the shop now. I've named it Breezy Mohair. I'm trying to keep my shop brand it with my cottage theme and things that remind me of our family cottage on Adelaide Street in Fort Erie, Ontario that we used to have. So I hope that you notice and appreciate all those little details. It was really fun to put together. So this is English Breakfast, which I love. It's on a cream base with lots of like raspberry, a little bit of like blueberry colors and chocolate brown. And then this is English Breakfast on Breezy Mohair. So this is on Cottage Merino. And this is my 2-ply 100% superwash merino. There's no nylon, which is really nice for garment knitting, I think. More natural. Even though there's superwash in there to bring out the vibrant dye colors, there's no nylon, which I think you really only need nylon for socks. I don't think you really need it for sweaters as much, or t-shirts. And then the English Breakfast, I use the same dyes, and this is how the color picked up. So this is kid mohair and silk, a lace weight. So you can hold it along with your fingering, you can hold it with a DK or sport, just to give it a halo or to just make it fuzzy and fun to pet. This is Let's Stay Home. This one is on Marion MCN. Merino cashmere nylon. Really pretty purples and blues and like a terracotta orange color. And I have some pairing ideas on the website now too, which I thought would be really helpful. So you can see colors together. This is Let's Get Cozy. Very autumnal, golds, pumpkin, orange, brown, some reds on a cream base. This is Maple Sugar, which is a little bit darker tonal with really dark brown speckles. And then I have Chicken Coop, which is part of our new Farmhouse collection. That's just tonal with no speckles. And then this is the mohair that would match any of those three. But the dyes I used for this are the dyes that I used in Maple Sugar. So this is Maple Sugar Breezy Mohair. Really pretty. We've got Mauve Berry, which if you'd like to see that knit up, I have a little swatch because I'm designing something. And this is the Breezy Mohair Mauve Berry. Here we go. And this is the little swatch that I'm almost finished with in Mauve Berry. So these are supposed to be little birds. More info to come on that soon. But I really like the way that's knitting up. This one is the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter themed. And there's blues, purples, and lime greens. This is a new one called Be Still. I really love the way that one came out. Lots of depth to it. There's blue, green, turquoise, almost like a spearmint green. And it just reminded me of tranquility and calmness and relaxation. There's some like golden yellow popping through. This is London Fog. It's on a tonal gray with lots of different colors, colored browns, chocolate brown, dark brown. Raspberry Cordial, which is Anne of Green Gables inspired. It's on a light pink base with purples, raspberries, reds, and pinks, and blacks, speckles. And those two would go good together too, I think. Let's see. We've got Elephant Pants. Tonal gray and white with speckles of lots of different neons. I think that would make a fun pair of socks, or a shawl with Simplicity on Breezy Mohair, just to tone it down a little bit. Simplicity is, it's not white, it's cream. It's kind of hard to capture on camera, but it's a really light taupe. Super light. Nice cream colored. That you can pair with just about anything, just to, you know, make the color more subtle in your main skein. This is Blueberry. Dolores Umbridge, which is Harry Potter inspired. That nasty lady. This is part of the Farmhouse collection called Tin Buckets. Tonal gray with gold variegation. And this would look good with the maple sugar mohair as well, I think. This is Planted in the Farmhouse collection, a tonal evergreen. And this is the mohair. I use the same dyes, and it's very interesting how this silk and kid mohair pick up the dyes differently. So this has a brown halo, and the thread in there is green. So I think that's really, really neat. Just a couple more. This one is Old Red Barn, and it's a tonal, really earthy, cool red with some brown variegation, just to give it a rustic farmhouse look, or barn look, barnwood. So I think this would be a really pretty fall or winter shawl paired with a speckled skein that has some red or brown in it. And lastly, this is Dirt Won't Hurt in the Farmhouse collection, and it's a tonal, really dark brown. Some areas look almost black. There's some taupe in there. I really love this one. And there is a breezy mohair to go with it. This picked up a lot more of the gray, but you can see some of the brown as well. So there's lots of pairing ideas. So yeah, that's it for a shop update. As far as acquisitions, I haven't bought any yarn. I'm being a good girl with Rhinebeck coming up. But I did purchase, I've been watching these mantle kits for cross stitch. Bent Creek, the Christmas mantle. So it's a 3-part series, but this is how it looks when it's all done. So I got this one on eBay, unused. It comes with all the flosses and the fabric. So that's all I wanted to show you. I was just going to chit chat for a minute if you have the time. If not, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. So yeah, the kids are getting ready to go back to school. They start on the 5th, whatever that Wednesday is. I believe it's the 5th of September. And my baby is going into kindergarten. So both of my children will be in school all day from 7:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. They get home at 3. And honestly, I'm having a really hard time with it mentally, knowing that we're not having any more children. When I think about it, I get all teary-eyed because I enjoy so much having Evan home with me. We're super, super close. He just cherishes me, and I cherish him. And it's like that for my oldest too, of course. But Evan is really a mama's boy. And I don't know, it's kind of like, of course I'm going to miss him. I think every parent experiences that when their last child goes off to school. But I don't know, it's hard for me. Like, a lot of people think they might have more children in the future. And it's kind of like, now I know that we're not having any more. So it's kind of like the end of a chapter in my life and the beginning of a new one. And it's exciting, but it's also sad in a way. Like, it's very bittersweet. And I'm picturing both of my boys going off on the bus and not needing me as much anymore, or as much as they have in the past. And just being under a teacher's care all day long. And my career is not there the way it used to be. I was a full-time labor and delivery nurse. So I am definitely going to be, of course, dyeing yarn to keep busy. I really feel a strong urge right now to design. I keep getting these images in my head of shawls I want to design, and hats and cowls, and I can just picture them. I can picture the stitch patterns, and I feel inspired by things around me, especially when we go camping and I'm in the woods. I bring my stitch dictionaries and I sketch things out, and then I get this feeling like nobody will accept it well, or people will judge it, or, I won't be able to, I don't know, just follow through with the whole thing. I get nervous. And I shouldn't. So I'm going to enjoy the time alone for a little while, a couple weeks maybe, and then I really want to start volunteering. I mentioned this in a previous episode, either going to NICUs at local hospitals to cuddle babies who are going through drug withdrawal, maybe helping moms nurse, that have babies in the NICU, because I'm a lactation counselor. I'd like to sit with patients in hospice who maybe their families are experiencing caregiver burnout, because I definitely felt that when my mom was in hospice. There's a lot that I can do, I know that, but it's a big change coming up, and change is scary for me. So I'm really thankful to have this knitting community to continue to be inspired by. And yeah, I don't know. It's going to be very different, but it's a new chapter. I'm excited about it as much as I am sad. So that's really difficult to explain, but I'm sure many of you have felt this way before. I think the key is to keep busy and be around like-minded people. So yeah, I plan to get out in nature more, just go sit in the woods and knit and just take it all in. That seems to help with my anxiety as well, just being outside, without being connected to a phone or just that decrease in stimuli around you in your environment. And right now I'm looking out of my window of my craft room, and I planted sunflowers this year for the first time from seeds, and it is taller than me. It's just swaying in the breeze out there. It's humongous. There's quite a few of them, but there's a really tall one right next to my window. I love it. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, podcasts. Okay, so there are Chelsea Yarns, which is the Chelsea Purls podcast. Christina and Miriam are the hosts, and it's a wonderful, wonderful podcast. Whenever you need a laugh, just go there and watch. Lots of fun. They knit lots of inspiring projects. She dyes beautiful yarn, and yeah, it's definitely a one to go check out. And then another one that I just found is Judy of the Autumn Acorn Knits, and I want her log cabin guest house. Her podcast is very relaxing. She lives in the woods with her sweetheart, and they have a log cabin and a little guest cottage in the back, and that's where she dyes naturally dyed yarns, and where she podcasts. She designs things. She's very inspiring, very sweet. And I let her know that I found her podcast. I don't remember how I found it, but I did and really enjoyed it. And I let her know that, and she said she's been watching mine on one of the first podcasts that she found and fell in love with. And so that was really touching. Do you see how this works, this knitting community? We inspire each other, and it's such a beautiful thing. I can turn off a podcast and just feel so excited, and like all these new ideas and projects and yarns and handmade things that you see, and just chatting, or not chatting back to, but listening to people chat about the things that you're passionate passionate about too, is really, really special. So yeah, those are just a few that I've been watching, new to me ones. So I'm going to link in the down bar those YouTube channels, so I definitely recommend you go check them out. And yeah, tonight we have Aiden's soccer practice, and tomorrow my husband is off, which is really nice. We'll probably go to the drive-in movies, and I think that's it. So I'm going to stop babbling and let you guys go, but thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you're all well and that you stay well until I talk to you again. Bye. I'm back again. I forgot to talk about something. Somebody recommended or asked if there would be a Harry Potter mini skein swap available, and that's definitely something that I think would be fun and helpful for those of you who want to make a Harry Potter scrappy blanket. So I will be organizing a Harry Potter mini skein swap in the Adelaide Cottage Ravelry group, which is linked below. So please go there to find out more about that if you'd like to participate, and you can swap your minis with others to get new Harry Potter colorways, or break up your full skeins into minis and do it that way. So there will be more information there, but I just wanted to run that by you and let you know that there's a thread. Okay, I'm on my way to pick up our weekly vegetable and fruit share from the farm that's right at our corner. I'm gonna go get some green beans and maybe pick some fresh herbs after that. Some chives down there and lavender. These are the U-pick fields where they have green beans, sugar snap peas, and usually sunflowers down at the end that you can pick when they get really big. This is right at our corner, and it's completely organic, pesticide free, and I love coming here with the boys to pick vegetables. Over here in my colorway, Dirt Won't Hurt, straight out of the ground. So yummy.